Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, March 27, 2014. Lloyd's of London reported a pre-tax profit of about £3.2 billion yesterday. It's about $5.3 billion US. They had a combined ratio of about 86.8%, which means for every dollar they took in premium, they ended up paying out either in claims or in administrative expenses, 86.8 cents. So they had a 12.2% or a 13.2% underwriting profit, and then on top of that, of course, would be any investment income they had earned. It was the best year for Lloyd since 2009. The Lloyd's chairman, John Nelson, warned that the results needed to be taken in context with a relatively benign claims year, insofar as catastrophes went. Nelson also warned that Lloyd's had not been immune to the influence of alternative reinsurance capital. He said, as well as reducing investment incomes, low interest rates have also led to the insurance market attracting substantial levels of capital coming in from capital market sources, which have not historically invested in the insurance industry. Well, one company that is in fact investing in the insurance industry is Watford Re, which apparently is ready to start writing business. It's been given an A- financial rating by AM Best. This is the latest of the Bermudian ILS startups. It's got $400 million in cash and $100 million in preferred equity from Arch Capital Group. Arch is the company that has purchased 15% of Watford's equity and is also a major Bermuda reinsurer. The balance of the funding comes from Highbridge Capital Partners as well as J.P. Morgan. The interesting thing about Watford is that they are going to write casualty reinsurance business. Casualty reinsurance business such as liability, workers' comp, things of that nature have a longer tail than property catastrophe business. Property catastrophe business, you know on the 366th day whether or not you're going to pay a claim or not. So this is going to be watched very closely to see if the capital markets ILS vehicles spill over into casualty business. A Thai satellite from Thailand has detected about 300 objects floating in the Indian Ocean near the search area for the missing Malaysian flight number 370. The Thailand Space Agency Development Director said that 300 objects of various sizes have been discovered in the southern Indian Ocean, about 1,675 miles southwest of Perth, Australia. The images were taken by the Thai satellite on Monday. They took 2 days to process, and they were relayed to Malaysian authorities earlier today. The objects were about 125 miles from the area where the French satellite spotted 122 objects on Sunday. The weather in the area remains atrocious. Planes have now been called back. The only searchers now are ships. This commentator did not know that Thailand had a satellite. In tsunamis County, Washington State, in the little town of Oso, rescuers have pulled the 25th body out of that mudslide. They're now saying that trying to recover every corpse would be impractical and dangerous. The debris field is about a square mile in size and about 40 feet deep in places, including within it things such as propane tanks, septic systems, barbed wire, etc. And there's a recognition now that despite the fact that there are still 90 people missing, they may not be able to recover all of the bodies. The International Monetary Fund earlier today pledged $18 billion in loans to help prop up the Ukrainian economy. The Ukrainian Prime Minister, in a passionate speech to the Ukraine Parliament, said that Ukraine was on the brink of economic bankruptcy. He laid out details for fixes, including freezing minimum wages, raising taxes, and radically higher energy prices. He said these reforms are going to hit citizens very hard, but we have no choice but to tell the truth. Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin in Moscow said this morning that Russia is going to develop its own credit card system to replace MasterCard and Visa, which have indicated they're going to uphold the American sanctions and cease writing business in Russia and performing credit card transactions. Putin said, "We certainly must do this and we will do it." He said during a meeting with government officials focused on integrating the Crimean region into Russia. Putin went on to say, "It's really too bad that MasterCard and Visa have decided on these restrictions. I think this will simply cause them to lose certain segments of the market, which in fact are very profitable." Well, good luck with that, President Putin, in starting your own credit card system. Eventually, they'll have to end up at a Western bank. Passengers in Germany face air flight delays. Lufthansa has canceled about 600 of its European and domestic flights for the better part of today because of a strike by the giant services sector union Verdi. These are mainly baggage handlers and maintenance workers. Of course, as we've also announced earlier, the pilots union of Lufthansa and its affiliates have also voted to strike, although they have not set a strike date yet. Japanese airliner ANA, All Nippon Airways, has ordered 70 new jets with a list price of $17 billion from both Boeing and from Airbus. Boeing got 40 of the new jets, Airbus got 30. The most interesting thing is that ANA has ordered 14 of the Boeing 787 Dreamliners. The Dreamliner, of course, was grounded for a while last year while its system was checked for battery fires. And in Venezuela, 3 Venezuelan Air Force generals have been arrested and accused of plotting a coup against the government of President Nicolas Maduro. The unidentified generals apparently were in contact with the opposition. The opposition has been protesting for more than 6 weeks in street protests, which have left at least 35 people dead. This is the first time in 15 years of socialist government dating back to Hugo Chavez that generals have been arrested for alleged coup plotting. You're going to see more of this, take my word for it. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back. If not, we'll see you tomorrow.